Welcome to the Maysville Board of Commissioners, Thursday, March the 12th, 2026. We will begin with our invocation, Reverend Burton.
Heavenly Father, God, we thank you for this day that you have given us. God, we just thank you, God, for all the ways that you have blessed us and, God, the freedoms that we enjoy in this country. God, we just pray, God, your blessings over our elected officials, over our administrators and those that work for this city. God, we just pray that for the meeting tonight, God, that you would guide the decisions that are to be made and, God, as they seek to do what is best for the citizens of this city. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend Burton. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Boone.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Sorry.
Commissioner Brammer.
That was a pretty good save there, right?
That was good. Commissioner Cardinal.
I didn't answer.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Commissioner Cardinal. Commissioner McKay.
I'll make it easy, yes.
Mayor Cotterill.
Yes, sir.
City Manager Wallingford is here. City Clerk Dunbar is not. City Attorney Cottle.
Present.
Comptroller Wood.
Yep.
HR Director Rose.
Here.
Project Coordinator Horde. Here. Public Works Director King. Here. Police Chief Boggs.
Here, sir.
Fire Chief Carpenter. Here. Zoning Administrator Larger. Here. Building Inspector Fawcett. Here. Codes Officer Brooks.
Here.
Tourism Director Bailey.
Here.
Main Street Director Reese.
Here.
Thank you. Minutes of the February 12th, 2026, and department reports.
Mayor, I'll make a motion, we accept as presented.
Second.
Oh, sorry.
It doesn't matter.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Boone.
Yes.
Commissioner Brammer.
Yes.
Commissioner Cardinal.
Yes, yes, sir.
Commissioner McKay.
Yes.
Mayor Cottle.
Yes, sir. Public announcements.
Chief.
Mayor, Commission, I'd like to make an announcement. I know some of you have already seen the Facebook post about our ISO rating. The Maysville Fire Department this past fall was audited by ISO. They came in and did an audit of our fire department. They went through all our admin stuff, the training, and also evaluated the communications with dispatch and also the water utilities. And after all those evaluations, we actually came out, one's the best, 10's the worst, and historically, we've been a 3. So we were able to get it down to a 2, which is a big deal for a lot of different reasons, but we're just happy to be able to serve the citizens of Maysville the best way we can. So we appreciate the score, and 5 years from now, let's get it to a 1. So that's how I look at it.
I think that's.
Way to go.
Congratulations and thank you. Caroline, do you have announcements?
Mayor, David, you have a question?
Yeah, Chief, we used to have trouble with, out around the Duke warehouses. That used to set us back. Is that all?
What really set us back from a 1 now is really staffing. Staffing hit us majorly, and also the area of Maysville by the stations we have, so response times.
Okay.
So that's really the big knockoff we have. Water, right, we almost got a perfect score on communications and water. So a big shout out for Tanisha Communications and Spence with the water. They took the time, did the paperwork, and they were just outstanding. I think we raised 8 points in communication since last time, so shout out to communications. So.
All right.
Thank you.
Caroline, do you have announcements for us?
Yeah, I told the commission that this was gonna come up, but, the governor released the reinvestment statistics on all of the main streets, in Kentucky. And in his statement, Maysville was singled out because we had such a great reinvestment year. We had $7.1 million reinvested in those blocks down there. It's not just the big projects. The Lundergan House was a huge project. A lot of work was done at St. Patrick's Church. Work continues on the Primary Plus building down there. But small and individual buildings and stores and businesses did 28 different improvement projects just in 2025, and all of that adds up. And that's why we were on the governor's statement today.
Well, congratulations.
Well done.
Well,
Good job.
It's not me, it's everybody
Yeah,
else.
that's
I'm
right.
just telling you the news.
Well, and I think that is a significant example of the private investment and the pride that people take in our city and our community. So, well done to all of them. Other announcements?
I've got one. The Mason County Joint Planning Commission has a two-day public hearing scheduled for Wednesday, March 25th, and Thursday, March 26th at MCTC, starting at 5:30 on both days. I made a post earlier today, and I updated the data center zoning public information page with the rezoning application for 28 properties out in the county comprising just over 2,000 acres. You can see the application and the development plan there, so anybody who's interested, that's what the public hearing is. There's information on the website. I still have to add the rules for the public hearing, including the rules and deadlines for written submissions, but I'm waiting on Michael Clark to fine-tune the legal aspect of the written submissions.
All right, thank you.
I have a couple questions. Not to put him on the spot, and I didn't ask for this, but Chief Boggs, how's your first week or two been?
Hit the ground running. I first would like to piggyback on Kyle, though, Chief Carpenter, and compliment communications on their great job raising that. It's been good. We're cleaning up a lot and getting things straightened out, surplus orders, and taking applications.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And secondly, I know, a couple months ago, we were talking about the tourism offices moving downstairs where the Ohio River Valley Artists Guild once was. Where are we on that move?
We've moved everything out except the hanging system, which you're looking to do next week. We've taken everything out to Washington, and we got rid of some of the trash that they had left behind. Where's Caitlin? There you are.
Okay.
So what's your thoughts about getting time frame maybe on everything?
My board voted on Tuesday that they would like to move down there. They would like a visitor center to the public, so we're more accessible for visitors that are stopping in Maysville. And it's working with Luke on finalizing when some changes can be made down there so that we can have our office in the back and a visitor center in the front. So we're hoping, also trying to partner with the high school and the magnet school on doing some art installations in there with the students. So hopefully we can have something done before the end of the school year so the students can join us for a ribbon cutting.
Good. It's a really visible spot. I
Yeah,
think
it's
that's,
a great
I think
spot.
that's great. Okay,
Great location.
very good.
Cool, thank you.
Matt, I got one thing. I was over in Lexington around Christmas, and anyway, somebody knocked a KU pole down, and they sawed up the tree and everything. And there was an independent contractor up there on Ashland Avenue that has this leaf sucker and sucks up all the leaves.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, but you have to get them to the curb
Right.
for them to do it.
Yeah.
And I just wondered if you'd check into that.
We have, and,
Oh.
yeah, Luke and Kyle have both checked into those things, particularly a great spot where that would be useful is, West Third Street, where we can't get the street sweeper in.
Yeah.
We have to go up there a few times in the fall just to blow all the leaves together and get them picked up, but that would be, I know you've seen it, that'd be a great spot. But yes, they have, you guys have looked into it, haven't you?
Yeah, and we actually have an attachment on the sweeper now. It's a back hose on the back of it, and we can blow leaves into one spot and suck them up.
Okay.
And we've done that on West Third and Sutter Street, where you can't run.
But you've also looked at like, the walk behinds and those sort of things too.
You have one of those.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, sir.
Any other public announcements? Public comment? Yes, Brian? Yeah, uh-huh,
Yeah,
you
that's
got
fine,
it.
Brian, sit right there, bud.
We're trying to get this in 3 minutes.
State your name, please.
Yes, please.
Brian Helpstein, longtime resident of Maysville. My name is Brian Helpstein, I'm a longtime resident of Maysville. I don't remember if there were any thanks, congratulations, and or farewells to our good friend Andrew Wood or not. But whether there was one or not, I'd like to personally show the addiction recovery community's appreciation for his love, his generosity, commitment to us, to our families, our lives, and those we seek to help. In 2006, I was headed back to prison for what I thought was going to be the fourth time. Instead, I begged Gerald Curtis and Jerry Muse to let me in the substance abuse program there at the jail, and they elected to give me a chance. I graduated, got out on a lower bond, stayed clean, had my charges amended to a misdemeanor, received a suspended sentence, and completed my probation. When I got out, when I got out of jail, I knew I was going to need to go to meetings and lots of them, and we didn't have a whole lot of them. So we were looking for a building, my friends and I, the recovery community, were looking for a building that we could have tons of meetings anytime and even hang out a little bit and fellowship with one another, keep each other safe. So we started out in the East End, across from Our House Videos. They found 5 pounds of weed in a dog food bag there, and it was shut down. We started there, we prayed, asked God to help us find a place. We went around the town looking, and we came back around and ended up right back where we started. And we saw that building. I wanted to find out who owned it. They said Andrew Wood. I called him up. I said, you renting the building? He said, yes. He said, what do you need it for? I said, we're wanting to have meetings, this and that. And he said, well, meet me down there. So when I went down there, I opened the door up and walked in, and he was holding the key, and he handed me the key. And he said, what do you need? And he said, what do I need to do? And the video store that was in there had a pornography section and had a little wall, like a wall around it or whatever. I said, we need to knock that out first. And then we needed he said, start knocking out walls. And he spent $50,000 on renovations. And we stayed in there for about 9 years, Matt. For about 9 years, we were in there helping each other, and hundreds of people got clean. People came in from other cities and stuff to help and all. And I just really think that I can't thank him enough because he saved our lives, several of our lives. So if there's anybody around here who's responsible for helping addicts, especially myself staying clean, I think Andrew Wood is one of those people, if not the most important. There's another thing I'd like to say is that Ken Fuller, who retired from the city, his daughter has been diagnosed with stage 2 cancer, and she's fighting that tooth and nail, eating healthy, she's fighting all she can, traveling back and forth to St. Eve. But she has this, so I'd like to ask you all for your support and prayers. Any churches you have, any spiritual people, or even unspiritual people to pray for this young lady, because she's been clean for going on 15 years. And she's been an intricate part of our recovery community, and we need her, we love her, we want to see her continue to, she has 3 children too, and a big family. Thank you all for your time.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
I just got a text. So, the company Midwest that bought Wald, one of their subsidiaries makes leaf vacuums.
Okay, all right. Yeah,
So,
'cause
for
they're doing
truck.
all kinds of stuff up there like that. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Okay. Appointment, Mike Jackson to the Convention Visitors Bureau Board, term to expire 10/11 of '27.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Boone,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Brammer,
Yes.
Commissioner Cardinal,
Yes.
Commissioner McKay.
Yes.
Mayor Cotter.
Yes, sir. Dwayne Sharp, Pilot Work Program.
Come on up, Dwayne.
I've got some copies for you guys. if you want to
Yeah,
hand
I'm
these
glad
out.
to have
And
That's the mic there.
I may have an extra.
Got 2 of them. That'll work. Yeah, thank you.
You might have an extra one.
Okay.
But the reason I'm here today, I'm Dwayne Sharp, and I'm the mayor out in Germantown. And for the past few years, we have had the inmates work program from the Mason County Detention Center out there, and they have helped us revitalize our park. So in those years of working with those inmates, we didn't intend for it to turn into like a Big Brother type program, but a lot of the inmates, we were kind of seeing the same kind of stories. Once they got out of jail, there was not an exit strategy. So I went to Jonathan Gay when he first was getting in office, and I talked to him about this. And what this is, it is a pilot program. And I called it CORE program, which stands for, it is the Career Opportunities and Reentry Employment Program. And there are a few jails in the state of Kentucky that has similar programs, like Pulaski County, even Rowan County has a work program, and what it is, Class D inmates that are low-level offenders like child support, people with low-level offenses, they actually go to work while they're incarcerated for a place like Law Manufacturing or any place local that would be a willing participant. And then they would actually make a paycheck. They pay their fines while incarcerated. They pay their back child support while they're incarcerated. And then when they get out, they have the potential of full-time employment with that employer. I have actually spoken with people from the state level all the way down on the chain and even down to Lisa Erie. And I've spoken with a few people in Owen and Jonathan Gay and Ryan. And it seems to be it's a bipartisan thing. It's not really an issue, whether it's Republican or Democrat. I just think that we need something to fill this gap. And what it does, when they let them out of jail downtown, where do they let them out at? They come right down into your city, and then our resources on the east end become strained even more so because we have people coming out of jail with no job, no income, and they owe fines. So what this is, it's not a handout, it's a hand up, and it's an opportunity for them to get, some bills paid and back child support. And hopefully when they get out, they have enough to where they could, get a fresh start, maybe have a job waiting on them. And just from talking to Pulaski County, Brown County, some of the other places that have these similar programs, I mean, they're really high percentage rate of people being successful through this program. But that was one of the things that I learned through our program is a lot of times, they do work for the county and they save the county a lot of money, and we're not trying to take that away from the county. We're trying to make this maybe a 2-year program, so on the way out, the last year, maybe they have an opportunity to make some money on the way out the door. But this is not like hardened criminals. These guys are, Class D inmates that already are out working on the garbage trucks or in the county already. So, but I was looking to see if you guys would be interested in maybe just giving a letter of support. I am going to hopefully go to fiscal court maybe next month or the month after. And, my hope is this will be something that will benefit Maysville as well as the county too. So and that's all I have. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Oh, and one other thing, the employers are eligible for tax breaks, and they are also eligible to be bonded. So if an employee were to do something, they are insured as well. So, and I'm looking at the funding. I've already been talking to them at Buffalo Trace, and I have 3 employers that are willing to participate currently. So that's all I got.
Dwayne, that's great. Would anybody like to, do you have any questions?
I would just like to say I appreciate the work that you have put into this program, that you saw the need and you took the initiative. And I think that it's a very good thing, positive thing that would help.
I hope it could be something to where it's where people can help themselves. The ones that don't want to help themselves, they're probably going to stay in jail and play cards all day. This is for the people that might have a family at home waiting on them, and it may take a little bit of burden off of people having to even pay money towards commissary and but like I said, I think there wasn't any negative aspects that I heard from other jails talking to me.
How soon do you need this one?
What's that?
A letter of support, how soon do you need it?
It's not anything rushing, but I was just looking for a letter of support. I've gotten letters from like Jonathan Gay and some other people as well, so I was just trying to get the city of Maysville on board with this as well.
Well, I don't think we have a problem with that.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Roll
Hold on
call,
one second.
please.
Yep, let me see. First, second. Okay, Commissioner Boone?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes.
Commissioner Cardinal? Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes.
Mayor Cottrell?
Yes, sir.
You got your answer.
I'll get you one. Okay, thanks, Warren.
Thank you.
Thank you, yeah. Really appreciate it.
Discussion towing ordinance, Chief Boggs?
Chief, you wanna lead this off?
Towing. So I've been asked to research this, and I think we need to overhaul, there's two sets. There's the city ordinance that covers all towing in the city, and then there's the police department, tow list. So we have two. One, the city's is outdated, 94.
Very outdated.
We need to overhaul it and bring it up to date with the statute that was updated last year. And my recommendation would be that we get together and just start this. Right now, we're going by the tow list for the dispatch center and for law enforcement that we use for emergency towing. And that is an inspection for the tow lots. They have to have business license within so many minutes. That's part of the city ordinance that needs to be updated. As far as this new legal standard about fees for towing and making themselves available for customers.
Do you think it would be probably easier to just repeal what we have and then?
Start over.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
adopt
I mean,
the
it is
state
so
statute.
antiquated
Yes.
that it requires like drug testing for tow truck drivers by the national standards. That's all taken care of in their CDL licensing, and there's no reason. I mean, with Kelly looking over it,
Yeah.
that would be the best thing to do.
Let's do that.
We have the standards to be on the list for us. Now, as far as the city government using it for vehicles, I can go by whatever you see fit.
Yeah.
But
I have a couple questions. Would it be smart to maybe look at a contract with a few providers of towing that can be competitively procured to negotiate rates? But also, I mean, that would mean that, you could have all locally owned businesses. Because I would imagine if you have a vehicle towed to, like, let's say Aberdeen, for example, that's probably an issue with investigating.
from a criminal investigation standpoint, it is an issue. As far as entering into a contract with them, then you run into the situation, somebody coming through from West Virginia that wants their vehicle taken back to West Virginia. Can they get somebody in West Virginia, come here and get it cheaper than the rates? Do we have to adhere to Kentucky rates or City of Maysville rates? That's the only thing. I mean, that's an option we could look at as far as contracting. And then my suggestion would be with that would be we have our impound lot that we store them at the city. And we just contract with tow trucks to
Which is
tow them
located in
to,
Public Works.
tow
We have
them
a lot out
to
there.
a facility.
Okay.
That's allowed by law as well.
Yeah, that would, though, cut into the business
That would take away
of
from the
towing.
storage fees that
Yeah.
our citizens need to,
And I think the
our citizens'
insurance
business
issue is a
owners-
real big issue too, because I mean, if, I'm not a lawyer, but if some damage is done to my vehicle, it's being towed, and that tow truck company does not have the proper insurance, then that individual, who had damage done to their vehicle could sue the city, I would imagine. If the city is giving the stamp of approval
I would
on,
defer to Kelly, but I would assume so,
a tow
yeah.
truck
Yeah.
company.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we are working with people that haven't provided us appropriate insurance documentation, then that's problematic.
I think a contract arrangement can kind of settle some of that a little bit more.
So, and that's something that we require on our tow list for dispatch, through dispatch for the emergency towing. At the same time, we probably need to get a more set schedule of when we do those inspections for the tow lots and make sure everything, for example, we had a couple that needed to pay their business license in Maysville. We got that taken care of in one day. It wasn't a big issue. Called them, they came down. So, and that's one of the many items on the inspection list. And,
Okay, what
Lieutenant
about-
Mellencamp actually did an inspection the other day.
Do you think the League of Cities has a model tow ordinance?
Possibly.
That's something
I mean,
we can look at,
I can reach out.
get
And
some
I can also
guidance.
reach out to my association. We
Yeah.
can reach out to the Chiefs of Police
Chiefs
Association.
Yeah,
See
there's
what
so
they have.
many, and it's all based on, I'm not gonna say all, a lot of it's based on population. We
Yeah.
can't compare us to Louisville or Lexington. We need to have something a similar size area. So,
If you guys don't mind, I'll work with Chief Boggs and Kelly and come up with something and we'll bring it back to you all.
I just hate to see cars towed to other counties?
I think those are things we can address.
Yeah, that's,
David.
I'd like to see that addressed.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that goes back to owner,
Yeah.
if the owner wants it, goes somewhere.
Sure.
But our
Yeah.
tow
And that's in
companies,
the
our
statute.
local tow companies can tow them there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
part of it, within a certain.
Well, I mean, if
that's
they have a
why the
tow
ordinance
lot
needs to
in
be
another
addressed.
county, that's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
It's outdated and we need to.
Yeah.
Assess that.
Let's sit down and go over.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Discussion, quiet zone.
So we talked a little bit about this last month. I know John Main had approached everybody. Is it something you want to pursue, or is it something you don't want to pursue? I'm just looking for advice on which way I need to go, because there's a lot of homework to do if it is something we would want to do.
There was a lot of discussion on social media, the people
You know
downtown
I
like
didn't
to
see
hear
that.
the train.
They do?
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay.
They were against that,
Interesting, very interesting.
a lot of comments.
Yeah, I like it what Ann has seen. I've probably talked to a few dozen people or communicated with a few dozen people on social media or phone calls and texts, and I think I had 3 people in favor of a quiet zone and dozens against.
Against it.
Okay.
And after you live downtown, you don't hear it anymore. I don't hear it.
I live right beside it, so I hear it. But it's okay, it's cool every once in a while.
You don't
I'm
hear it.
in,
Do you know, can you get a list of cities that have them?
I
The
can.
closest one?
Commissioner, I can do that. I do know, I remember reading something through the National League of Cities, there's over 1,000 quiet zones in the United States. So yes, I can get some.
I just want to visit one.
Yeah, sure, I can get some information on that, yeah, absolutely.
And I
Yeah.
would like to ask citizens to reach out that aren't on social media and give us their input. I'd
Right.
like a broader spectrum of input.
Okay, all right, okay.
We can
We'll
knock
just
on
push
doors.
this-
Why do
We'll
you
push
think-
it down a little bit.
One person commented, why do you think you go to Capronis and you sit by the window so you can see the train and hear it?
Sure. And this, and what the quiet zone does, it just deals with the
Because we hear it all the time.
Hey, I just want you to give me a city. I want to go. I'm just curious.
Okay, all right. Thank you all.
Discussion, quarterly cleanup.
Luke, what we're looking at, April 10th through the 20th, so just after Easter, kind of the middle of April, if that's good with everybody.
Yeah.
April 10th through the 20th, and obviously we'll do appliances, no tires. Although I will tell you that we are kind of along this line, we're having a tire issue in the east end. And Nicole was working with Luke and Kyle, and they're gonna send a couple crews down through the alleys next week to pick up a lot of tires. So we're just gonna go on and get them on our own. Most of them are sitting right near the road, so we're just gonna grab them and take them to the landfill.
Is that up on Pelham?
That's one of them. Yep.
Thank you.
Got it. So April 10th through 20th.
Thank you. Discussion, ethics ordinance. I would like to, first of all, commend the Ethics Board for the work that they did on this update. And I especially appreciate the suggested training, annual reviews, and reports to the commission. And I really commend them for taking this on and improving some outdated.
I'll be honest with you, Lisa worked on this with the ethics board more than I did, so I've gone through it. I think it's a really good ordinance. I think one of the keys that they hit on is social media. In a lot of our trainings at the city manager level and the city level with the League of Cities, talk a lot about ethics and social media.
Yeah.
And just as an example, as you know, for you all, you should have your commissioner page and your personal page, or your mayor's page and your personal page. Because you start to get into a gray area with open records.
Mhm. I had a question about that. So,
Yeah.
huge thanks to the committee. This is a pretty
Yeah,
big document
it
and a
is.
lot to take on.
It is.
I think I know what's meant here, but it
Where you at,
doesn't.
Robert?
Okay, I'm in the social media section,
Okay, hold on.
and I
You
think
got a
I know
page there?
what's meant there. It's page 16.
Okay, hold on.
Um,
Okay,
But,
go ahead.
okay, the language here is elected officials shall not discuss issues pending before the commission. Elected officials may seek public input, but shall not respond to comments. Engaging in substantive conversations on social media could require retention, violation of open meetings, all that. So I understand the language here, and I think the intent, but I'm not comfortable as an official who was appointed and who has been elected, not discussing items with my constituents. And I think that public input compels me to respond to those comments. I'm just not going to not
I
respond.
agree.
So I think we need to look at that language, and I don't want to do anything in violation of the open records, which I think is the intent of this, but the language isn't precise enough.
I wonder, Robert, if on that, I agree, you all should be able to communicate with your constituents,
Yeah.
100%. I wonder if they're thinking there that elected officials shall not discuss issues pending before the commission on their personal page. I wonder if that was the intent.
There's no
It doesn't say
context.
anything there, but I wonder if that was the intent, is to delineate between your personal page and your official.
That may be, but I think it needs to be sharpened. The second sentence, elected officials may seek public input, but shall, that's pretty strong
it
legal
is.
language.
Oh, I agree.
Shall not respond to comments. Now, that's the issue I really have problem with.
Okay.
So,
And again, we're just discussing tonight, so I'm gonna make a few notes here, and I'll talk to Lisa and see if she remembers what the intent on some of that stuff may be.
sure, and we can just sharpen the
Oh,
intent.
absolutely,
That's
sure.
it.
If this,
Yeah.
if this were to pass
I'm
as
sorry.
presented, is that, you're saying we have to have a separate social media account
That's what this is.
and a new separate email account?
I can set up city emails for you.
That's the second thing I was going to point to, because it says that, which I'm fine with, but if I create an email account, it's by default personal, unless somebody creates it
Right,
for me.
sure.
So I think in order to not violate this ethics ordinance, if it's approved, then we need created accounts for us.
Which I can do. I can do that for you.
Yeah.
And again, I want your brains, just to get your brains moving on this and see what that's a valid question. That's a good question too. And through all the training that I've been to, particularly at the League of Cities conference, they talk about officials having an official email address, having an official Facebook or X account, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and Matt, could that also mean in this language that if different commissioners or myself commented, then they're seeing that as a meeting because we're more than one of us is commenting? I think we need to
I think
look.
maybe that's the intent. That's where you would have to be really careful that more than two of you would be commenting on something, because then, once you get to the third, it's a gray area.
Yeah,
And
we're
you
not
can say something.
necessarily like, polling each other when we're
But if
commenting.
say you've got a post on your,
Mhm.
on your official page, and you're getting comments, in my mind, you should be able to respond to
Yeah.
those comments, because
That's
it's your
right.
own page.
And I didn't think that was the committee's recommendation, but it
Yeah.
reads like that's the
It does.
recommendation.
I
So
agree.
I just think we
I agree.
need to address that language.
Definitely. Kelly,
So,
I'm sorry.
would we not be able to read each person's page?
Oh,
So,
yeah. I think the question there, what the mayor's getting at is, it becomes a gray line.
Right.
If, let's say, there's a separate page, a group throughout the city or the county, and they're posted on a topic, and three of you start
Mm-hmm.
commenting on
Commenting
it through
on
your
it,
official
yeah.
page, then it could kind of get a little gray as a,
Yeah, it could be like an electronic meeting essentially at that point. Yeah.
Kelly, you were gonna say something. I'm sorry.
The only thing or thought that I have, and I appreciate the input,
Yeah.
and we can work on that language.
Yeah, because you were
But
involved
the
in
only-
all that.
I think the intent of elected officials shall not discuss issues pending before the commission is, if there's an ethics complaint made, then there is, we don't broadcast that.
Right.
There's some
Yes, there
confidentiality
is.
involved until we get to the point where it's investigated. And, because anybody can say anything about somebody and tarnish their reputation. So that's the purpose of some confidentiality at the outset of these things. And so I think that was the intent.
Okay.
If there's a matter pending before the commission, then there shouldn't be public comment while it's in the confidential stage. But I see why that brings a question, and that can
Yeah.
be sharpened. for-
I understand that. I just think that the way it reads, it's very broad language. Elected officials shall not discuss issues pending before the commission. That means any issue, like
Right.
towing, for example. We cannot, it doesn't say ethics. It's any issue as I read
Yeah,
it.
that would help.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We can definitely go back. on
Okay.
that. Was there anything else that stood out to the group? Sorry, I keep kicking you. if you all see anything, just shoot me an email or give me a call or stop by and see me, even between now and the next meeting, and, you know, we can talk about it individually.
Okay.
Okay? Great. Thank you all for the input.
Thank you.
Motion surplus property.
You all have been given a few lists by Chief Boggs of some police department items that you would like to surplus. Did you all have any questions? We just need a motion from you all in order for him to get rid of some of those items.
So moved.
Okay, hold on a second, David. Okay, got it.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay.
Roll call, please.
Yeah, go ahead,
So,
Chief.
in cleaning out, discovered that certain items, specifically firearms, were not surplus when they were either sold or given to retiring officers. And by law, it's a firearm, and we have to get those off our books. And it goes back several years, so that's one thing we've been, there are more on there I have not given you yet, but we're working to get those serial numbers from retired officers.
We can come back again.
Those are the main items on there. There's some smaller ones, but
So what you're saying is you just can't give a firearm to,
no, it has to be transferred according to a retired police officer statute, or if we choose to get all new sidearms or weapons for the department, then
those
they
have
have the
to be
right to buy them back.
yeah, right.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Roll.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Boone?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes.
Commissioner Cardinal?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes.
Mayor Cottrell?
Yes, sir. Resolution authorizing Port Security Grant Program application 26-13.
A resolution authorizing Port Security Grant Program, PSGP, application. Be it resolved by the City of Maysville, Kentucky, that the mayor is hereby authorized and directed to execute an application for a PSGP grant and any and all other necessary documentation to effectuate acceptance of said grant funds. Said grant funds are to be used for the purchase of a 26-foot Pack Cat landing craft.
So moved.
Second, Kelly, can you say that real fast?
How much wood could a wood?
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Boone?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes.
Commissioner Cardinal?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes.
Mayor Cottrell?
Yes, sir. Resolution authorizing Maysville Green Dot's 10th anniversary, 26-14.
Resolution recognizing Maysville Green Dot's 10th anniversary. Whereas Maysville Green Dot has been working to decrease interpersonal violence in our community for more than 10 years, whereas Maysville Green Dot has trained more than 500 individuals to be Green Dot bystanders, whereas 2 cultural norms conveyed through the use of Green Dot that our violence will not be tolerated in our community and that everyone has to do their part. Whereas Green Dot is research and evidence-based, having been shown in a CDC 5-year study to reduce violence in Kentucky high schools by 17 to 21%. Whereas Green Dot originated at the University of Kentucky, whereas Maysville is recognized as the first Green Dot city in the nation in November 2021. And due to that recognition, our city has been discussed as at a state and national level. And whereas the Board of Commissioners of Maysville proclaimed that March 18th of each year as Maysville Green Dot Day in 2019, now therefore be it resolved by the City of Maysville, Kentucky, that Maysville Green Dot be recognized throughout 2026 for its continuing commitment to make the City of Maysville a safer place to live, work, and visit.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Discussion, just for a second. We were the first city, and Mason County was the first county. And Judge Pfeffer and I were recognized at their original meeting.
That's awesome.
Good.
Yep.
Roll call.
Commissioner Boone?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes.
Commissioner Cardinal?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Cottrell?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Mayor, Commissioners, if it's okay with you all, I'd like to skip to the budget session and set a date for the budget session, because we might be in closed session for a little while. That way, staff can go on and get out of here without sitting around and wait, if that's okay.
That's
Yes.
fine.
Okay, that's all right. David Horde, come up. And what this will be fairly brief. It's just an initial introduction into what they're looking at, and then we'll have more specific meetings down the road here.
All right, on mine, the engineering budget. Do you want me to read all those?
Why don't you give us a copy?
I mean,
I put a copy in your mailbox.
You did?
Yeah, here. You
It
don't have
looks
it.
like
You-
this.
You can have mine.
Here.
Here. Yeah, there it is. It's in here. It's in there. Yeah, it is.
Where's the fire department?
Well, it's under.
Yeah, it's in there. It's,
It's under
use this towards the
this
back
one.
end. Last two pages.
Yes. this
Oh,
one.
oh, oh.
Basically, everything on there is maintenance, except for the Limestone Creek gate well. So that would be a new pipe from Limestone Creek pump station to the river. I mean, everything else is basically maintenance to our buildings, our streets, you know, our pump stations, for generators, basically, for here, the police department, which are about 30 years old, each one of them. And then that second page is basically the annual asphalt contract and all the grants that we have going on. Most of them are in the engineering phase, so, except the asphalt plant will be opening up here shortly, in about 10 or 15 days.
Yeah.
For that right now, I mean, if there's any questions,
I think I would really like to see some bids, maybe estimates on phases of the Old Washington sidewalks. I know the whole project is pending some gas reconstruction, but I think there are certain areas that could be worked on, restored.
Do you see that in there?
I did not see
Yeah,
that.
it's at the bottom.
Okay.
250,000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so,
All right.
Yeah, I think
Thank-
David's got
yeah,
some
I
preliminary.
can, I
Okay.
got some square foot, I can give you square foot prices and all that we've done.
Yeah.
But yeah, that basically covers a lot of what needs to be done.
Okay, good,
Right now.
good.
Now, the gas line projects, that'll be going on, but, you know, that's not gonna cover a huge area.
Mm-hmm, yes.
Yeah, we're looking to proceed with that.
Good.
If you all approve that, starting, July 1st.
Thank
I
you.
know when the buses come for the votes, and people get off the buses and walk in the middle of the street.
David's got a pretty good
Yeah.
plan for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then,
David's gonna go over the utility budget.
I'll go over the-
Darren's at a training.
yeah,
seminar.
Darren's gone, so, basically, if there's any questions on there, I mean, feel free to ask me, I'll answer the best I can. Those last three down there, it says rollover from last year, they're all in engineering. And the ones that were with CSX have been in it for quite some time.
It says
Because
capital
it takes a long time to get a railroad bore under the railroad.
And if you all recall, I mean, last year during the budget, I told you, chances were some of these projects would not hit, but we do have the engineering going on those.
Yeah. And then any of that top is his new ask, is what that is. West Third Street, wastewater treatment plant, all this is, basically maintenance or repair, except for item number 4, that truck. Item number 7 and 8. And now he's asked for a new distribution person too, personnel. That's item number 9. But the rest of that is needed at the water treatment and wastewater plant.
Now, your distribution person is crew,
Yes.
Yes.
grunt work.
Distribution crew,
Yeah.
yes. And the truck is an on-call truck. That's what I've been told.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
Luke?
What page, man?
Let's see,
Second page.
Yeah, second, there you go, sorry.
Hey, can we have these before we get here, cause this was in my box before I came here.
Yeah, I put them in probably 3 or 4 days ago.
I got mine.
Yeah, and I just put police in today.
Cause I was just up here the other day and picked up all my stuff.
It was in first week.
Thank you, just a bit. Okay.
Go ahead, Luke.
All right, so first two I got there, dump beds for our salt trucks. We've got two that are in, one that's in really, really bad shape. The other one's getting pretty bad too, rusted really bad. So we're looking to get two dump beds, if not one. I've got a packer in there, and I know we can go into more
Yeah, we'll go into more,
detail,
yeah.
but I've got that in there. I've got an equipment trailer in there. I've got a shop vehicle, possibly for shop vehicles, and then the telehandler I also have in there.
You want to explain that telehandler is a carryover and why we did not?
Yes, so the telehandler was approved last budget season. The reason it wasn't bought is because we used that money for salt this year.
And that price has gone down from 150 to 100, right?
Yeah, that number's gone down to 100.
To 100?
Yeah, 200,000, yes, ma'am.
That's all I
Thank
got.
you.
Thank you.
Chief Carpenter?
I put a pack in your mailbox, so I went extra and went ahead and supplied some prices with some stuff. But, number one on the list is increased staffing. Since COVID, we've been keeping the numbers, I think it was 2016, 17, around there. We expanded our personnel to 8 per shift, and we were doing about 21 to 2,500 runs a year. Post-COVID, we've been flirting with 5,000. So, we really need, some more staffing per shift. So I'm asking for 2 per shift, and that would add another ambulance crew. Our ambulance runs have more than doubled since COVID. So, I gave kind of a 3-year study to hold up before asking, make sure it wasn't COVID. And after studying and watching these numbers, they're not going down. So, we really need staffing. After that, the boat, we got a grant for a boat. It's been about 2 years ago. Unlike most things in the world, I called them the other day, and I think it's gonna get done early. So that's kind of rare in first responder world, equipment getting done early. So we're looking around the mid of April, 1st of May, it's gonna be finished. So we're gonna need equipment for that boat. I gave a list of kind of equipment we're looking at, from scuba gear to life preservers to equipment needed for that boat. You're looking about 50,000 that we're asking for that. I'm also asking for 2 pickup trucks to replace the chief vehicles. One thing with NFPA is big on cancer, and we're not supposed to be still storing our gear in the cab anymore because of the carcinogens and cancer-causing chemicals when it comes to fighting fire, so they want it to be separated from the cab so we're not breathing it in all the time. I'll keep their names off the record, but we've had a couple past retirees have cancer diagnosis and go through that treatment and stuff. So we want to try to do our best for post-work. And so with those pickups, they're going to be more like fire trucks. They're going to be red. They're not going to be gray like our current vehicles in white. We don't want to look like police officers, no offense, Patrick. But then they're going to be lettered, and you're going to know it's the Maysville Police Department. They're going to have camper shells on them, or sorry, fire department. Yeah. So, and they're going to have camper tops on them where everything can be stored in the back and away from us. A Zoll vent. Not too long ago, all our paramedics can now RSI, which is a big deal for our fire department. We've got one vent. We actually need a second vent for our main out truck. And so we actually assisted on RSI today on a run. So a patient flew out. So, and the last thing is the fire truck, hopefully, as of right now, they're saying November, but I'll believe it when it's coming here. So it's probably going to be more like January if I was a betting man. So, and that was ordered 3 years ago. So.
Chief, can you explain why we have to spend $1 million every 10 years on a fire truck?
Well, this ain't $1 million, it's
840.
840,000 right now.
Which we locked in 3 years ago.
Yeah, so, if you order that truck right now today, it's 1.2 million. So,
Yeah, but you've got to recertify them. They don't want them over 10 years old, do they?
well, that did not pass yet.
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
So,
I read where it was at, but
NFPA is not law, there's law, then there's recommendations
Okay.
from NFPA. So NFPA don't want an apparatus older than 10 years old, but OSHA has not made that law. So it's one of those things, there was legislative in the federal that they were trying to make that law. And there's a lot of small people like us that really fought that, because right now, all our apparatuses fire over 10 years old. So that would
Probably
take our
a
whole
lot
fleet
of
out.
Seems like all my clothes.
Little cities like us, that would
Like us.
just destroy little cities, so
Exactly.
luckily, they fought it and it did not pass this time. I'm not saying it won't in the future, but, so that's kind of the world we live in now, so.
Since the boat is gonna be finished early, have you looked or possibility of looking if we have enough extra money in this year's budget to cover that cost before the year end?
With my current budget, probably not, because we've buying equipment for that new engine.
Okay.
For it coming in, we've been updating our old stuff, so I don't know, maybe. I'd have to, it's probably not close enough to call that right now.
Okay,
So.
all right.
Chief Boggs?
Sergeant Highlander just made, Brandon made copies for frequency.
I've got
Should be the ones that, I did update it late this afternoon. I tell you, 10 days in, at my prior job, I had a few months to work on a budget, so.
Oh, you still got time.
And, but these are in no priority order. I will say, they are needs, not wants.
Updated list.
We need the duty pistols are 7 years old. Unlike vehicles where you probably shouldn't replace the whole fleet in 1 year, duty pistols, you get a better deal when you do. The patrol rifles, most of the officers have, I'm gonna venture to say 15-plus-year-old rifles. And you think about qualifying with those every year and the barrels go down, and just the style and the technology has improved. Let me address those two real quick, because you'll see on the second bullet point down, we'll get roughly $6,500 back in trade-in on the pistols. The rifles, we have so many different brands, I'm still getting estimates on the trade-in value of those. So that price for 1 and 2, I'm gonna anticipate to be about $15,000 after trade-ins. So you're knocking $50,000 to about $15,000 with trade-in. The copier, it's a must. It's not functioning proper, and that's with a trade-in value there as well. Ammunition, that's an expense that we have to incur every year. We don't wanna put anybody out on the street that can't hit the target. So, portable radios, they're going bad. I put in for 10. This is something that I don't wanna replace all at once, or all of them at once. Not to say 10, I pulled that number out of the air. So that could be less on that. New vehicles, this is something Matt and I discussed. We found out that moving forward, they're getting ready to go up 7%. So I put in 8. We have probably at least 3 on the road that I wouldn't take outside the county, just due to the mileage and the hazard it could present. So, we've got 2 on order right now, and we're waiting on those to come in from this current budget. But that's basically to save for the future, is what that is. You can mark the number 7 off. I found other means for that today, even after I submitted this. In the new K-9, with Officer Fraley stepping away and going to another agency, we put out feelers to replace our current K-9 Peggy. She is certified in marijuana. Moving forward, that's gonna be an issue. So we want a new, and there's probably a work expectancy of 2 to 3 years left with Peggy after talking to Austin Fraley. And so we're putting out feelers to other cities and school resource programs that are still, in the future, not gonna allow marijuana in the schools and things like that. So hopefully we can get something back. I'm not saying we'll get a K-9 next year. It's tough. It really is to, find an officer to dedicate the time to that.
Will he take Peggy to the school?
He does to help search when they go on trips, and then we clear the halls, and they do random classroom searches after they get all the kids out. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, and that's the school request, Peggy, so.
good.
We've already gotten a hit from a city today on Peggy, so we're hoping maybe that might fall through, or that might work out.
Yeah. So that's, again, there might be some money coming back in the budget on that one. Just to go down through the line, if you don't know what Cellbrite is, it's what we use to download phones when we seize them in drug investigations or other investigations. This has its own other line item, but we were able to cut that $9,000 from this current year to moving forward the next year. I have, and this is, as work as a sheriff, I called the state to see if we could get reimbursed for this, and we're gonna start getting reimbursed when we transport mental health patients to the mental hospital in Lexington. We're also gonna get paid for serving papers that has never been done, and we're also gonna get arrest fees now. We just have to submit paperwork, and that's something we're gonna do internally. I haven't had a chance to pull the numbers from last year to give you an estimate of what we would have had if we submitted these fees to the county government fees office, but I will have that for you. The other two, you can take into consideration, just for, that's my justification for giving you these numbers of expenses. You know, we've got 4 contract employees, the city's saving on paying into retirement on those 4. So whereas if we hired a new employee, we'd be paying 47% of their salary into retirement. The other is, I think it's time to have a discussion if we are utilizing the Forest Avenue substation enough, and I'm open to trying to renegotiate a new contract with the owner of the building to maybe minimize that, but the annual cost of it is $14,000.
Is that just the lease, or is that utilities, or the
That's
utilities paid by
everything.
the owner?
That's
Okay.
utilities, that's phone, that's water, that does not include, I have no clue what the city spent to refurbish that building, I have no clue on that. We have cameras in there, they're cameras that can be moved somewhere else, that would be another savings,
So those are the big 4, plus engineering. We still have code enforcement, planning, and zoning, Main Street, tourism, general administration. So there'll be more papers coming to you, as well as, you know, I'll be working closely with Melissa, and we'll get a FY '27 booklet put together for you, so. Were you, go ahead, Dick.
Are you, Patrick, are you or Matt, or both of you in discussions with the owner of that property up there, precinct 2?
I was in discussion with him yesterday, he's thinking.
Okay. Because
It would be a
the original
substantial
intent of
payment
that
on
was
the
to
lease.
show some, to be serve as a deterrent. When the previous owner of IGA was up there, because he had threatened not to renew his lease, but that individual's gone now, and you really can't see the precinct unless you're on the east side of the parking lot.
Yeah, I'm open to it.
Yeah.
I like to give cost savings,
Yeah.
cuts, as well as with the expenditures to try to cut off that or minimize that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief, for the work in the short term, fast turnaround.
Were you all able to, by any chance, look at your calendar and have any thoughts on the last full week of March?
I told you I was okay.
You was open, yeah, because we're gonna try to set up 2 meetings for you. Rec Park.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not sure tonight, I can reach out to you all tomorrow and we can set something up. But if there's any certain, if that's okay, I'd be glad to do that as well.
It's,
If you wouldn't mind reaching out,
Do that.
thank you.
Not a problem, okay?
I'll probably be full by then.
okay. Any other questions or discussions on the budget or the dates?
Mayor, I will tell you before we go and before you all go into closed session, we will not be taking any action when we come out of closed session.
Okay.
Back into open sessions.
Closed session pursuant to KRS 61.8101C, discussion of proposed or pending litigation, and G, discussions between a public agency and a representative of a business entity concerning a specific proposal, if open discussions would jeopardize the siting, retention, expansion, or upgrading of the business.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Boone?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Brammer?
Yes.
Commissioner Cardinal?
Yes.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes.
Mayor Connell?
Yes, sir.
motion, okay.
And I second it too.
You can't second it.
I'll second.
All in fa- roll
Okay.
call, please.
Commissioner Boone,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Brammer,
Yes.
Commissioner Carter,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner McKay,
Yes.
Mayor Cottle,
Yes, sir. Now I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
and Commissioner Boone,
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Commissioner Brammer,
Yes.
Commissioner Cardinal, sorry, Commissioner
Yes.
McKay,
Yes.
Mayor Cottle.
Yes, sir.
Thank you all.